Secretary General of the Students' Union, and the coach member and the teachers, the scholars and the students, and the office bearers here. The Palestine issue is very complex, it's a very big issue, very vast issue, but I will try to make things clear. The most important thing about the Palestine issue is that we don't know the fact sheet. We don't know the real problem. There are two things. One is to know things, and the other thing is to solve things. Knowing the problem and making the solution. I will not speak about the solution because if I do not know the problem, I cannot talk about solution. But if you know the problem, half of the solution is made without doing it. For example, if I know that I have a TB, tuberculosis, if I know, even if I don't take medicine, I will make some parhez. I will abstain from something. I will take some good food. Automatically, by my own knowledge of tuberculosis, so knowing is also solution. इसलिए youth nowadays, most of the youth, they do not know the things on the ground. Now book culture is finished. Most of the people are on Wikipedia. They take lessons from Wikipedia, social media. They are the false sources. They are not the real sources. If you know things, you have the background of knowledge, then you can consult Wikipedia. If you don't have the knowledge, don't consult it. It will make you blind. Social media. So, understanding the problem. Now, what is the problem in Palestine? The problem are huge problems. The Palestine, the solidarity issue, this solidarity issue is the international issue, global issue, not only for India, but it is especially to India. Whatever the government, at the same time, in New Delhi, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, one of the bodies is ICWA, Indian Council of World Affairs, they are holding the same program now, in which if the ambassador of Palestine is there, Barkati is my friend, if you want to invite him, I can bring him here. He is a deputy ambassador, he is also there, he sent me the invitation in New Delhi. Also, about 13 hours before, now, Secretary General of the United Nations, he made a statement about this Solidarity Day, and he said that he condemned the illegal settlement and demolition and other activities and punitive activities done by Israel. He said it's not good for peace. Just 13 hours before, 14 hours before, just 1 hour. So this day is very important. I think this day should have been especially for the whole country, because it's for the whole country of India. Because India gave around $5 million to the United Nations Relief and Work Agency, UNRWA, which is working for the Palestinian refugees since 1949. Because Trump cut the aid, 360 million was cut by Trump a few months before. So India has also given. India was giving 1 million, now it is giving 5 million. So it is also special to India because India supports this resolution of the Security Council 242 and 338. It is not against our government also. People who do not know, they do not know. India supports officially resolution of Security Council 338 and 242, which says that Palestine, a state, will be created in about 22.5% of the territory of Palestine. It is known as land for peace treaty. So my point is that Solidarity Day is a very important day for, it should have been most important day for because Palestine, the problem in Palestine is a territory. But the problem in Palestine began which year? It began in 1917. Before 1920, there was no problem in Palestine. Palestine was problem-free country. Because before September 1917, Palestine was under the Ottoman Empire, Devlet-e-Ali Osmani. Ottoman Empire was a good big friend of India. Khilafat movement was made by Mahatma Gandhi with the support of Muslims majority and also with the support of Hindus in India in favor of the Khalifa of Turkey, the Caliphate, because Ottoman Empire was Caliphate as well as Sultan, political power and religious power, political head and religious head. So Muslims in India, for them it was not Sultan because he cannot be a political head because we have a different territory, but it was a religious head. So all the Muslims, even Shia Muslims and Sunni Muslims, they supported Caliphate of Turkey. For example, Justice Sayyid Amir Ali, who was a Shia and his wife was British, he was a student here and he was the first, he was not a student here, he was the first Muslim judge of Calcutta High Court. And he settled in London in 1906. But despite being in London, he was writing letters in London Times. He was meeting the British Prime Minister, British MP, British King in support of Ottoman Empire. So, Palestine was a part of the Ottoman Empire. The whole Middle East except Iran. Except Iran. So what the British did, the First World War began in 1914. In 1914, India, which was British India, it was neither Muslim nor Hindu, and Hindus and Muslims were united in India in 1914. So, British India used 1 million army in the First World War. About 200,000 army or 250,000 army were used in Europe, and about 8 lakh army were used in Muslim territories to fight Muslims, like in Arabia, in North Africa, in Iraq, in Syria, in Palestine. So Turkish people, Turkish soldiers, they were surrounded by French forces, British forces and British Indian forces, and they were killed. And General Allenby, he captured Jerusalem in September or November 1917, sitting on the horse. And that was the beginning of the problem of Palestine. Of course, Balfour Declaration is very famous. So Balfour Declaration says that Jewish people can have their national home within the Palestinian territory. So the problem began. So, in 1917 to 1920, Palestine was under the British military control. Between 1917 and 1920, Palestine was under the British military control, but after 1920, civilian control, which is known as British mandate territory. Now, from 1917 up to the creation of Israel, British did not stop the flow and flux of thousands and thousands of Jewish people from all over the world. They were coming and settling in Palestine against the wishes of the Palestinian people. So before 1917, there were Jews also in Palestine, but their number was not more than 10,000 or 11,000. And they were living in peace with Muslims. Like Jews lived with Muslims in peace in Spain during the Muslim rule. Or before 1922, Hindus and Muslims lived in India together peacefully. You see? Like for example, Shia and Sunni lived peacefully in Pakistan till 1999. And Shia and Sunni lived peacefully in Iraq till the period of Saddam Hussein. Now you have a fight. So, this Palestinian territory, it was getting a lot of illegal flow of refugees. And you know what happened? There is a book written by Michael Arshi. The name of the book is Bomb in the Basement. This book I have, which I got from America, it was 1,500 rupees. I bought from America. But in this book, yes, Michael Arshi is an Israeli journalist. He said that in 1940 or 45, there was a big ship carrying around 3,000 or 4,000 refugees, Jewish people, I think 1945. And the British government, because British government was there, they stopped the ship, near the coast or away from the coast, and they said, you go back, you cannot enter, because there was a lot of criticism of British government that you are converting the whole land into a Jewish land. And then what happened? The Jewish terrorist group, they made explosion in the ship. They themselves made explosion in the ship. I'm not saying it is from the Michael Arshi book. And because of that explosion, some women, some old people, they made some sort of arrangement where to explode it. And about 100 people or 200 people were killed. Now because of this, what happened? There was a big, news in the media that British are stopping the refugees and there's a bomb blast. So what happened? They said, okay, you come. See? So my point is, whenever British wanted to stop them, they failed. But British are responsible for the flow of, for converting the island, for converting the Palestinian land into a Jewish controlled territory. But before because Israel created in 1948, but before 1948, a lot of resistance were made by Palestinian people. They made protests, they gave memorandum, but nobody listened to them. And they were also killed. And sometimes in 1940, 41, 45, 46, when British wanted to control the Jewish people, even the Jewish people, their group type of leaders, even they killed some British officers. So my point is that there is another important information. It is mentioned in MNP Thal book. MNP Thal? Yes. That the Jews who were living in Palestine before 1917, they opposed the Jews coming from. This is very important, but we don't highlight it because we don't control media. We don't mean third world countries. They don't. Even our own newspapers, Indian Express or Times of India, they buy foreign news from Reuters and from ABC and from others. AP, Associated Press, AFP. So we don't have our own correspondents in most of the places. So we depend upon them. And most of the Western media is a corporate house. Yes. So this is one thing. Now in 1948, in 1947, there was a partition plan in the imagination. There are many, many things I cannot explain. Partition plan, according to partition plan, 55% or 54% were given to Jewish people, and Jewish people were not more than 35% or 40%. And Palestinians were in majority, but they were given only 45 or 44 or 46%. I thought 44 or 45, and 1% was reserved for Jerusalem. Baitul Maqdis, Jerusalem, Al-Quds. that this is an international city, but what happened? The Palestinians rejected it because it was a unjust solution, and also the Jewish also they rejected it. So there was a war. It was not a war, it was a one-way attack because Jews were very well armed. There was no match between the Jewish arms and the Arab arms. No match. It is like a ghoda and gadha. You know, the horse can run very fast, but gadha cannot. Big difference. So what happened? The Jewish, they captured 78% of the Palestinian land. How many? 78%. So how many percentage now with the Palestinian? 22. But how many people became refugees? So before 1948, 1.5 million people became refugees. Because refugees started becoming, they started becoming refugees since 1930s. लेकिन हमारी बात बोले कौन बोले? सब तो दाएं बाएं से कोई रसगुल्ला खाए हुए हैं, कोई खाना खाए हुए हैं, और हम लोग भी नहीं हैं। देखिए AMU के स्टूडेंट्स कहाँ हैं? मैं तो अपने ही ऊपर रोकता हूँ ज़्यादा। बात मैं किसी को ब्लेम नहीं किया, मैं कभी ब्लेम नहीं करता हूँ दूसरे को, मैं अपने को ब्लेम करता हूँ। बाद में करेंगे ना दूसरे को बाहर। तो क्या कह रहे थे, क्या बोल रहे थे? हाँ, so before 1948, 1.5 million refugees today, but they are not registered by the United Nations. But in 1948, the Palestinians who became refugees, they are recognized by the United Nations, and their number is 5.4 million today, just now, as of today. 5.4 million. Okay? Now this 5.4 million, where are they? They are in East Jerusalem, they are in West Bank, they are in Gaza, they are in Syria, they are in Lebanon. Then, in 1967 there was a war, Six-Day War. The war was made on 4 June 1967. Again, this 1967, again it created refugees. See the tragedy of Palestinian people. Palestine is the only issue where the whole world can be united. Because it is real humanitarian issue. Gandhi opposed, Mahatma Gandhi opposed the partition plan. And some Jews, scientists, big scientists from America, I don't remember the name, and from France, and from Britain, they wrote letter to Mahatma Gandhi. And they met him. Mahatma Gandhi was very polite. Kaise hain aap, namaskar, pranam. He was a very polite person. He was a good person. He was a very, fundamental Hindu, believing in fundamentals, unlike Natural Godse. Natural Godse was having a tika, but he was not as good Hindu as Mahatma Gandhi. So there are two kinds of Hindus, Natural Godse and Mahatma Gandhi. Two kinds of Muslims, Arshi Khan was I am also a Muslim, and there is one Ibadah who is the Amir. Are IS ka chief kaun hai? Abu Bakr Baghdadi. He has also like this name, Alhamdulillah, but difference. He believes in killing. I don't believe in killing. Yeah, but so what happened? In 1967, the whole territory was captured. 22% also captured by Israel. 100%. Moreover, Israel also captured the Sinai Which one? Is Golan Heights. Golan Heights of Syria. Golan Heights is a very, it has a very good amount of water. Israel does not have good amount of water. But it has a good high technology to extract water from anywhere. Even from Turkey also it can do it. If Turkey closes its eyes, for example. बहुत बड़े महान आदमी हैं. So Gandhi did not say. Gandhi said Palestine belongs to Palestinians as Britain belongs to English people. He did that. So he said that to the Jews that you can have a small autonomous territory within Palestine. You see? So in 1948, Israel was created. How it was created? It was created illegally. नाजायज औलाद है ये, बिना अब्बा के. ट्रेडिशन क्या है कि शादी होती है, चाहे हिंदू हो मुसलमान हो, शादी होती है. हिंदुओं में तो बहुत शादी का बहुत एक सैक्रेड माना जाता है. 7 घंटा घुमाते हैं तो दूल्हा दुल्हन जो थक जाते हैं. हिंदुओं में जो शादी है वो बहुत बड़ा प्रोसेस है. 6 घंटा थक जाता है, बड़ा से बड़ा पहलवान गिर जाता है. लेकिन मुसलमानों में थोड़ा सा है, इसकी कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल मैरिज. तो उसके बाद औलादें होती हैं, कहते हैं भाई इफरान साहब का बच्चा है, उफरान सिंह साहब का बच्चा है, वो सिन्हा साहब का है, खान साहब का है, अंसारी साहब का. इनके अब्बा कौन है? ना अम्मा का पता ना अब्बा का पता. तो माय पॉइंट इज, आई से सम उर्दू वर्ड बिकॉज दिस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ना धोती उनके पास ना पजामा है. तो है क्या? It was created unilaterally on its own. So it means it has no legitimacy. But what happened just after declaring that I am Israel, independent state, America immediately recognized it. This is the process. But it was created illegally. It has an illegal birth as per law. But what happened in 1967? Full state is captured and it was full under military control. In 1973, it also captured Sinai. In Sinai, the part of Egypt. And what happened? Then with Egypt leave that now. At present, what is the total population of Palestinian refugees? 1.4. This is one important issue. And what happened? In 1988, Yasser Arafat, who was the head of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, and PLO was supported by India. India supported Palestine more than Gulf countries. Alhamdulillah. See, the Muslims in India, they remained for 3 hours. For 3 hours only, yes. Okay.
But at the same time, he made agreement and he buy guns from Israel.
I know. Okay. I know. Sit down. Be cool, okay? I'm talking about India. Maybe Prime Minister Modi, or maybe some political party, but you have large number of political parties, large number of Hindus who support Palestine. Don't look at one government. Number one. Number two. Listen, now I tell you, there are 2 prime ministers in Palestine. Ismail Haniyeh and who? The 2 prime ministers. One of so you do not know, you are a student. I am teacher. I know more than you. I am 53 years, for 30 years I am working in Palestine. What is your age? See, support is not only governmental. Support is also societal. Society. Trump is the president in America, but all Americans are not happy with Trump. Most of them, majority are very disturbed. So, there may be some compulsion, the government or whatever. Leave it. Now listen, follow the decorum of the lecture.
One follow-up question. Sir, which ones have a deeper effect? That non-governmental support or official government deal with Israel? Which one is having a deeper impact on the Israeli structure?
See, the government thing becomes political. And of course it is, you can say it is deeper, but at what level? It may be published in the Indian Express, but my speech may be published in the Urdu Express. But the Urdu Express readers are more than Indian. That is English. It is up to you to realize. We cannot expect every good thing from the government, whether it is our government or any government. Government is not the God. Government is not God. Because if you have this approach, you will be disappointed everywhere. But my point is, don't be disappointed, don't lose heart. Even if you are defeated, don't think you are defeated, because you are to God. You see, the Palestinian people, they are fighting with small stones against a mighty tank. What does it mean? They have a courage. हम लोग तो उनके टैंक को लेकर भाग जाएंगे, यहाँ से मेरठ, Bihar, Bengal, but the Palestinian people, the government does. The next government will come and they will have a different policy. But even this present government, even this Modi government, at several times said no to Israel. You don't have this information, I have this information. They also say no to Israel. Israel is more powerful in America than in India. So our government is better than American in terms of the relation with Israel. But of course, as you know that Israel is also talking with Palestine, with Pakistan, under the ground, underhand. I knew this information 4 months ago in Baku. It is politics. Politics is a dirty game everywhere. So anyhow, now this is the data of the Palestinian refugee. Now you find that in 1988, Yasser Arafat, because in Palestine also Yasser Arafat is digested somewhere, he is not digested. You see, because of politics. But he was a good, great man, a big person. In 1988, Yasser Arafat, he took a olive branch, zaitun leaf, and he did the United Nations General Assembly. He said, we want peace. I want to hold peace. He was under a lot of pressure from Arab countries, also from Americans, also from Israelis, and then the negotiation started, which is known as Oslo and Madrid Accord, 1991, 1993. But what is in the Oslo and Madrid Accord? 2-3 important points. Israel will stop construction of Jewish settlements. Israel will not do anything which will disturb the border, expected border of Palestine and Israel. Israel will accept the right to return of the refugees under United Nations General Assembly Resolution 194. It was the expectation. And because of this, Yasser Arafat made an agreement with Yitzhak Rabin, the Prime Minister of Israel. Another important point was that for 5 years, Palestinian Liberation Organization will have an elected government, interim government, for 5 years. So 93 to 93 and 5 years, how many years? That is 98. And after 5 years, the the negotiation will start on major issues. Jerusalem is a big issue. On water, on border, on settlement. But what happened? Till 2000, and then it was supposed to negotiation will start, and by 1999, independent Palestinian state will be created. So before creating independent Palestinian state, there will be interim government for 5 years. Right? But they did not do it. And that is why the second intifada began on 28 September 2000. When Ariel Sharon entered Masjid al-Aqsa with a dog and 6 or 8 Palestinian people were shot dead by Israeli forces. Am I right? How many people were killed in the intifada, second intifada? More than 10,000 people were killed. 20,000-30,000 were injured. The first intifada took place in 1987. And because of the intifada, first intifada, the process began, Oslo, Madrid. How many people were killed that time? Again 10,000. It is now the third intifada, which began in 2014. Again more than 5,000 people were killed. Thousands and thousands are in. So who is talking? Who is look after? So this is the one fact sheet. And the other fact sheet is, is Jerusalem. Now Jerusalem, it was previously Jerusalem, the west part of Jerusalem was captured by Israel in 1948. And it was declared part of Israel, even the eastern part of whole Jerusalem, in 1980 by Israel. So eastern Jerusalem was supposed to be the capital of Palestinian state, and West Jerusalem maybe of the Israel. But now what happened? Donald Trump shifted, or he considered the whole Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. It is against international law. It is against United Nations resolution. So he did think illegal, not only immoral, it is illegal in international law. Now, what happened that, so Jerusalem, in Jerusalem, can you tell me in eastern Jerusalem how many settlers are there? Jewish settlers? Eh? No, tell me the number. Any idea?
I have not so much accurate about number. Because every place in Palestine there is a settlement.
But not talking about East Jerusalem. East Jerusalem, at least around 300 to 400,000 Jewish settlers are there. And 86% of East Jerusalem is under direct military control of Israel. 86% of East Jerusalem. I have the data, don't worry. Your Christian Balker is my friend, he knows I have more data than him. Alhamdulillah. Take it positive. 86% of East Jerusalem is controlled. East Jerusalem, West Jerusalem is fully belongs to them. It fully belongs to them. This is East Jerusalem. Come to Gaza. Gaza is a small territory, it's a strip. How many population? 1.8 million. Poor Palestinian people. More than 60% people in Gaza are without jobs. Per capita income is very low. And Gaza was attacked by Israel in 2006, in 2005, in 2008, in 2012, in 2014, even now. Right? You see? एक तो आदमी बिस्तर पे है, मरीज है, आईसीयू में है, उसको भी जाके मार. This is the nature of the world. Shameless. Now, this is the situation of Gaza. Gaza cannot have its own Palestinian people. They cannot fly their aeroplane. They cannot go to any other country without the permission of Israeli and Egyptian. They are like in a big prison. And there is economic sanction against Gaza since 2007. And there is also sanction by the Palestinian government also, but it is because of the lack of coordination. That is true. Now come to West Bank, the big part of Palestine. All these three parts, East Jerusalem, West Bank, Gaza, are in 22.2% of Palestine land. Come to West Bank. West Bank is divided into three categories. जैसे इंडिया में है, फर्स्ट एसी, सेकंड एसी, थर्ड एसी. थर्ड एसी में बहुत लोग रहते हैं, सेकंड एसी में कम, फर्स्ट एसी में प्रोफेसर लोग को भी जगह मिल जाती है, वो भी फ्री में, वो किसी की जगह नहीं आओ. सो द वेस्ट बैंक इज डिवाइडेड इनटू थ्री: एरिया ए, एरिया बी, एरिया सी. एरिया सी 60% of Palestine, under full control of Israel. Area C of West Bank. Okay? Now come to Area B. Area B is 22%. The control is shared, Palestinian and Israel. Come to Area A. Only 18% of West Bank. That is controlled by Palestine. Now within West Bank, there is another thing, that is illegal settlement of Jewish people from all over the world. The total number of Jewish settlers are more than 700,000 together. And they are settlers. There is advertisement in New York. There's a land, is a Palestinian land, they will say it is our land, Judea and Samaria. The Israeli government is giving concession. They say it is your land, religious land, and the price is very cheap and this, and they come from there and they settle there, or from different places. This is the style. But the land is Palestinian. So they not only divided West Bank in A, B, C, but they also settled Jewish people not from Palestine but from different countries. Now come to Israeli wall. There is also Israeli wall in Jerusalem, in West Bank, and the Jewish wall, the Israeli wall is going on. It is 30 meters high. It is higher than Berlin Wall, the biggest wall in the world. And because of this wall, many people became homeless. They cannot go, they cannot send their children to school because the school is that side. They have to go a long way, cross from there and then go to school. They cannot sell their product, they cannot sell their fish, they cannot sell their vegetables, fruits like orange. The problem of movement of people. And the wall is how many? 470 kilometers long. Still the construction is going on. And Donald Trump is such a foolish person. I am saying it is being recorded happily. He is such a biggest foolish person. He praised it. And because of this he is copying the same kind of wall on the Mexico border, but the American Congress is not approving it. उन्हें बुद्धिहीन लोग की कमी नहीं है दुनिया में. अल्लाह ने बहुत से लोगों को पैदा किया है, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. अल्लाह ताला अकल दें. हर बिरादरी में, हर धर्म में मिलेंगे आपको ऐसे. बस. So wall is another problem. And this wall was started in 2003, and in 2004, International Court of Justice declared this wall illegal. European Union and even Obama, they did not consider Jewish settlers as a good thing. But Trump doesn't matter to Trump, unfortunately. So this is the issue. And then I discussed this thing. Then let me give you some other facts which may be important to you, because I am dealing with the ground fact. Now there is another issue of right to return. Right to return. Those Palestinian refugees, they want to return to their homeland, which they left not because by choice, but they were expelled from their homes by force. Because more than 500 villages that time in 1948, there was total expulsion from them. Expulsion of the Palestinians from more than 500 villages. Now these Palestinians, they want to return, and there is a United Nations General Assembly Resolution 194. It is known as right to return. They want to come back. They still remember their homes. But Israel does not allow them to come back. Now, another important thing, the Israeli law, citizenship law, nationality law, and land law, land legislation, it automatically stops, prevents refugee to become. The point is that the people who were the real owner of the land, they were turned into refugees. This is the big dilemma, big tragedy. मैं अपने ही घर में किराएदार बन गया. Palestinian people, those who owned their own houses, they became किराएदार in their own home. ये एक important चीज है, जो बड़ी खराब चीज है. And then I have a number of the settlers also. And then another important one is settlers, Jewish settlers. Jewish settlers are about 700,000, 7 lakh, 700,000, 7 lakh. They are Jewish settlers, they are armed. They are not simple soldiers like settlers like Arshi Khan. They are armed, they have a M16 rifle, dangerous rifle, and they are killing Palestinians. They have killed hundreds of Palestinians. And what they do, they are also cutting the zaitun trees, olive trees. You know, olive is a big, important economy for livelihood for Palestinian people. And zaitun gives fruit for 1,000 years. 1,000 फल देता है 1,000 साल तक. Am I right? So they are cutting trees. And they hate so much. You see these settlers. And no one to stop them. But you know, Allah is seeing everything. This life is very short. But life after this life is very long. Everyone has to give the hisab of good and bad things there, including our brothers and sisters in Israel and in America. They will have to say before Allah what good things they did and what good things they did not did. Everyone, we all have to give answer. Now come to Israeli courts. Israeli courts, it also received a lot of appeals from the Israelis and Palestinians within Israel against the construction of wall. But Israeli court did not do anything. This is another ground reality. Now, you know what Israel is doing? They are also taking over the homes of Palestinian people. And since 1967, around 23,000 homes have been destroyed and new buildings have been created by the Israelis. It is known as confiscation of land and homes. I met some family from East Jerusalem. I met them in Jordan, in Amman. They were Muslims and Christians both. Nawal Shihabi and some one more. Up to since 1967, I got the data that the settlers and the Israeli Defense Force, they destroyed 800,000 olive trees. 8 लाख पेड़ को इन्होंने खत्म कर दिया. पेड़ काट देते हैं, बताइए. पेड़ ही क्यों काट देता है? अजीब मेंटालिटी. अल्लाह. So since 1967, 800,000 olive trees were, detached. Even, in Israeli jails you can find Palestinian boys, women, old people, even 12 Palestinian member of legislative assembly. उनके MP कोई पकड़ लो, बादशाह है. No, without any. And since 2000. The Israeli forces, they captured 8,000 Palestinian children, and the crime is throwing a small stone. A small boys. They were in jail, they were interrogated, etc., etc. And during 1992 and 2018, 18 journalists were killed by Israel. 18 journalists, 10 plus 8. This is another. And in Israel you can find a lot of checkpoints inside Israel. Inside Palestine, West Bank. Checkpoints. It is more than 700. Checkpoints. Police checkpoint, military checkpoint. So if they want to create, if Palestinians want to create a state within Palestinian territories, 22.5%, but because of the settlement and because of the wall, Israeli wall, and because of the green zone and because of the buffer zone, because of the checkpoints, only 8 to 9% land will be available for the Palestinians to make their state. This is the big problem. How they will create it? And they have made a heavy settlement here, so you cannot make a straight borderline. And because of the settlement, they want their own security. Now come to the last point. How many weapons, what types of weapons were used against the Palestinian people? Palestine does not have army. Palestinian people do not have army. They have a police force. Am I right? And what things were used by Israel? F-16 in 2001, 2002, when Yasser Arafat was alive. F-16 jets, they are now using Israeli snipers, and then they use white phosphorus bombs. दीवार से इधर क्रॉस कर गया, उसका अक्स मार दिया. White phosphorus bomb, bunker buster, which can go deep inside 102 meters inside the territory land. Apache helicopters, very dangerous helicopters. It can fly very down. It can chase it can run like cycle. Just above the ground, Apache helicopters. We don't have Apache helicopters. Then M16 rifles, in 1 minute 800 rounds. This big cartridge. If it hits here, it makes a hole. The whole thing will be amputated, cut, no repairing. And they also use butterfly bullets. Butterfly bullets is, if the bullet hits you here, it will damage even the veins and arteries inside. So you have to cut it. Butterfly, naam dekhiye kitna khubsurat. Butterfly. And missiles. So this is all about the fact sheet, and I think that at present there is no solution to the Palestinian problem. Those people who create to have their own state, because the main party is America, the veto power, along with America, United Kingdom and France. All the three are not very much in a position to come against Israel. Israel is now above international law. Israel is above Security Council of the United Nations. It is a tragedy for the world. It is a tragic moment for the whole human society. It is the saddest moment in the history of humankind. It is not the defeat of the Palestinians. Because if Palestinians are equally armed, then there can be a real fight. Palestinians are armed. And you have a big arm. How it can be a fight? So it is aggression, it is attack. And that's why I tell you that Israel never accepted any united resolution on Palestine. More than 150 resolutions were passed by the United Nations on Israel. It never accepted even one. America attacked Iraq. Why? Because of the violation of the UN resolution. The Western countries, Americans attacked Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Sudan. For what? For violating international law, for violating human rights. What is happening with the Palestinians? Is it not the issue of human rights? But the point is that if there is a coordination and friendship between the lawmakers and the law violators, what will you do? But in this moment, I see a light and hope. I see light and hope because the whole world is physical. The whole world is physical and we are also physical. Today we are here, tomorrow we will not be. And in this physical world, everybody knows who is wrong and who is right, especially in the case of Palestine. And now Israel is getting exposed. It was exposed in third world countries long before, because of Nehru, because of Gandhi, because of Tito, because of Nkrumah. Now it is getting exposed in America. American citizens are now watching what is happening. They are opening their eyes. And that is why the Israelis are trying to make friendship with Arab countries. Because they are not safe, they don't feel safe in New York now. हम किसी के लिए कब्र खोदेंगे तो अल्लाह ताला हम ही को उस कब्र में गिरा देंगे। अल्लाह का निज़ाम है, अल्लाह से कौन लड़ेगा? Allah against Almighty, you cannot fight against Almighty. Even they are scared about Americans in America. That's why they are building cooperation with Saudi Arabia, India, with other countries, etc., because they don't feel safe. Because the Jews are really in a strong position in America. So they are getting exposed in America. I want that they should be exposed in America. They should be exposed in the Western world, not among the politicians, but among the whole common people. I hope the time has come. They are getting exposed. And through this way, Palestinian people will get justice. So thank you very much for this opportunity. And if there is a question, I can take up.